Good morning, everybody. I look a little different today, don't I? That's because it is National Pajama Day. And what I have done is I am teaching you from inside my indoor fort that I have made out of a sheet. Look at it. Yes. I have my radio, have my computer. I got my good blanket. I didn't put any makeup on today. And I have some lip gloss on because my lips are chapped. I have my favorite unicorn house shoes. Oh, there's my cute dog. Hi, CJ. So anyway, we're going to be learning from inside my indoor fort. And look at my staff. That's my wizard staff, and it is the top of my fort holding it up. Cool, huh? And I got a beanbag chair in here too. So anyway, I thought it would be fun to do this since it's National Pajama Day. So my assignment for you today is to build an indoor fort out of blankets and take a picture and send it to me. I would love to see them all. So fun. Okay, so what you should have been doing is doing your word assignment on your paper. So let's look at our screen here, and we're going to go over some of the things we've been talking about this week. Let me flip. Okay, so here we go. All right. Okay, so we've talked about privilege. That was our first word that we did. And our second one was impairment. And then we're talking about figurative language, and we've already done similes and metaphors and alliteration. And we talked about what a simile is, a figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with another thing of a different kind, and it's using words like or as, where a metaphor does not use the words like or as. And we had some examples. We did those yesterday. There's our metaphors. Then yesterday's word was bawl. And you can see that this guy kind of looks like he's screaming. And the reason for that is because bawl is a verb, the way it was meant in our story. And it means to shout or call out noisily and unrestrainedly. Mr. Howell started to bawl me out when I asked what we were selling for the fundraiser. And that is what Quavendo said in the story yesterday. So let's see what our next word is. Well, here's our skill for today. That was yesterday's, alliteration. Now, some of you may or may not have done your alliteration paper yesterday. I did mine about socks. You need to watch that video from yesterday because I would like for all of you to do that. Casey did hers, and it was super good. I'm going to be reading hers tomorrow. So if anybody else does their alliteration where you had to write a paragraph about something that's in your laundry room using that letter, I used socks, so a lot of mine had S words throughout the story. Watch that video yesterday, and that'll show you kind of how to do that. And Casey did hers about a blanket, and it was super good, so I'm going to read hers tomorrow. All right, so let me flip this back around. Okay, so we looked at the alliteration with Peter Piper, and I read that to you, and there was our laundry day. All right, today's skill is going to be idioms. An idiom is a phrase or expression that typically presents figurative, non-literal meaning attached to a phrase. And what that means is it is something that doesn't really go with what it's talking about. So let's look at what they're talking about there. It says, it cost an arm and a leg. So if we say it cost an arm and a leg, we are saying that it was very expensive. Okay, so we're obviously not meaning that you had to give an arm and a leg for it. That's why it's an idiom, because that's not the actual thing that happened, but it's just another way of expressing this cost a lot of money. So let's look at, so my picture was that fancy car right there. Yeah. And then this one says, I'm all ears. And there she is. So if you tell someone that you're all ears, it means that you're listening to what they are saying, and you're listening attentively and really wanting to hear what they're going to talk about. Okay, so that is what those things mean, and that's what I want you to do today on a piece of paper. I would just like for you to, you can either research on the internet, there's idioms on the internet. If you know one, if your parents know one, write down your idiom and then do an illustration or a visualization of what that idiom is and what it means, okay? So that is your assignment today with building a fort. I'm so excited. Okay, hold on. All right, now let's see if there's anything else. Here's your new word for today from our story. It says obnoxious. So when I'm reading today, you gotta listen for the word obnoxious. All right. Now, this is going to be a pretty long chapter, unfortunately, but it's a good chapter. Yesterday, we read about, I got to find my chapter. Oh, here it is. Couldn't find my book in my fort. Okay, so yesterday, Quavendo told the whole story about not wanting to sell the silly stuff for the fundraiser, and he was not very happy about that. And so he found out a way to sell nothing and still get money and raise money for the elective classes because the school doesn't have money to buy the supplies that they need. So that's what he did yesterday. And so today we're going to be hearing from Cassie. She's another girl that kind of runs around with Sarah and them. She was in Origami Yoda also. And she is going to tell us a story about stuff that goes on in drama class. So let me fix my phone. I got this neat little stand, but sometimes it doesn't. There we go. Okay. I can see you in my fort. Okay. So anyway, so here is Cassie. She's got a weird, can you see her? My light's too bright. Let me turn that light off. Let me see. Sorry, having some technical difficulties in my fort. Okay. Ooh, that makes it fun. Okay, there's Cassie. Okay, so here's her letter that she writes to the school board. It says, Dear School Board, you want to hear about something great Dwight and Origami Yoda have done? Well, we had this situation in the drama club that was getting totally ugly and was about to get even uglier. See, we were doing Alice in Wonderland, the musical, and there are a lot of parts. So some people who hadn't been in plays before ended up getting the roles. I was the White Rabbit, by the way. So the play was going to be fine and all, but the problem was poor Lisa, who was going to be the Cheshire Cat. She had never been in drama club before, and none of us knew her really well. At first, we didn't realize who it was that kind of smelled bad, but pretty soon we realized it was Lisa. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but she smelled terrible. And the thing is, we spend a lot of time very close to each other. There's no real backstage, you know, just this closet-sized area on each side of the stage, and sometimes we all have to stand back there waiting for our cues. Like right before the big song, Tea Party Boogie. And then there are times when we all sit in a circle to read through the script or whatever. And there's no way you can concentrate on remembering the words when your nose is on fire from a terrible smell. Everybody was always trying to sit away from her, and it was getting real obvious. My friend Amy, who was Tweedledum, and I whispered to each other about it, but some of the other girls started saying stuff. I was afraid Lisa was going to overhear it, and Haley, who was Alice, actually talked to our drama club teacher about it, Mrs. Hardaway. But she said we need to accept people's differences. Well, I was willing to try, but some of the others weren't. Then Lisa was absent one day, and that's when things got really nasty. Brianna goes, "Oh my gosh, it's so nice to have some fresh air." And Haley goes, "I know. We won't have to hold our breath through the whole Curiouser and Curiouser dance for once." What I didn't understand was Gemini. What I don't understand, goes Gemini, the Red Queen, is how she can possibly smell so bad. I mean, my brother goes a week without taking a bath, and he doesn't smell that bad. And then people started describing what she smelled like, and it got really, really nasty. Harvey got out his Darth paper and said, "Offensive, most offensive." I think I was the only one who got his Star Wars reference, but I wasn't going to laugh. Harvey, who plays the king, is like the world's worst actor, by the way. But since there are only two boys, only two boys in our drama club, he always gets a part. Mike is the other boy. He's the Mad Hatter. He's not a great actor either, but at least he's nice. "All right, guys, stop," goes Mike. "It's not that bad." "Yes, it is that bad," goes Darth Paper. "I find her lack of baths disturbing." "Now you're just being mean," said Amy. "You know what I think is mean?" says Haley. "I think it's mean after her to stink up our play. If she wants to be a pig, she should go somewhere else." Mike stomped off. I wished I had stomped off too, but I was sort of stuck there like a zombie. I mean, honestly, the smell did kind of bother me, but I didn't want to hurt her feelings. But I did want to find a way to change the situation. I can't believe we've got 3 more weeks of rehearsals to go, said Brianna. Yeah, we have got to do something, said Haley. Hardaway won't do anything, so if we don't do something, we're going to have to smell that for 3 weeks. No way. Well, what can we do? Attack her with Febreze, said Gemini. The power of Febreze is nothing compared to the power of her stink, said Darth Paper. This time Haley and Brianna laughed, but I don't think they knew where that quote even came from. Shut up, Harvey, I said. Mike's right. You guys are being mean. What if one of us just talked to her nicely about it? I'm not doing it, said Haley. I don't want to get that close to her. Would you stop it? Said Amy. If we do anything, we need to do it super nice. We have to be careful about what we say. Fine, you guys go tell her something nice, but if you don't get her to either hose down or drop out, I am going to go get the Febreze. I'm just warning you. Mrs. Hardaway called us to rehearse. This is My Wonderland, which neither me nor Amy are in, so we decided to talk about what we were going to do. After rehearsal, we asked Mike if we would do it. And what are we going to say to her? What would I say to her? Mike said. I would have no idea what to say. I'm a boy. Then he kind of got an idea. Hey, why don't you get Origami Yoda to tell her? He always knows what to say. Talk to Origami Yoda about it. Yeah, right, Harvey said. I'm sure she'll take it better if it comes from a total weirdo with a green finger puppet. Nobody asked you, Harvey, I said. Besides, unlike your obnoxious puppet, Origami Yoda does know what he's doing. He saved my butt last year, don't you remember? Mine too, said Mike. Yeah, I know all about your pathetic problems, said Harvey. Let me know when you're ready for Vader to help out. Yeah, right, I said. I ride the bus with Dwight, but I wanted to keep this conversation private. I asked him if Amy and I could talk to him in Origami Yoda the next day before school. He said, indubitably, which I guess means yes. The next day we found him in the library, on the floor in front of the encyclopedias, pounding on a tube of chapstick with the Argentina A volume. Hey, Dwight, did you bring Origami Yoda? I asked. He didn't say anything, but he pulled Origami Yoda out of his pocket. He said in his ridiculous Yoda voice, suddenly asking him for advice seemed 100% ridiculous. If he hadn't helped me so much last year, I would not have even have bothered. Do you know that girl Lisa? Amy asked. She's in our play, and she kind of stinks. So do most actors in drama. They all stink, said Dwight in a regular voice. No, not like that, I said. She means that Lisa smells bad. What so? Asked Dwight in his Yoda voice with his puppet. Well, it's a problem, and some of the other kids are getting nasty about it. She really needs something, like to do something about it maybe, or maybe drop out of the play. What these kids are named? Asked Yoda. Brianna, Harvey, Haley, and... Haley, croaked Yoda. Sith. Yeah, she sort of is, said Amy. There's little Yoda. Can you see him? He's right there. Yeah, she sort of is. That's why we want you, or actually Origami Yoda, to talk to Lisa before Haley does. Okay. Okay, said Dwight too. And he got up and left before we realized that he was going. He walked straight out of the library. About 10 minutes later, he walked back into the library. Did you see Lisa? Yes. What did Origami Yoda tell her to do? He didn't tell her anything. Why not? He just wanted to see her hair. Her hair? Isn't it just normal hair? I thought so, said Dwight. Well, when is he going to talk to her? I don't know, said Dwight. First he wants to investigate. Oh, no, I said. Are you going to do that Sherlock accent again? Yes, I am, said Dwight in his Sherlock accent. Dwight, are you really going to talk to her in that Sherlock accent? Yes, I am, said Dwight again. Well, what are you going to investigate? Amy asked. Yoda has not told me yet. Forget it, I said. This is getting stupid. Are you going to help us or not? Because if you're just going to make funny voices and fool around, we need to know so that we can do something else. Help Lisa, I will, said Yoda. And then Dwight put him in his pocket and said, the game is afoot. Then he started banging on his chapstick with his A Argentina volume of the encyclopedia again. That afternoon we had play practice, and Lisa was there, and so was the smell. Haley was furious. I thought you were going to do something about that stink, she hissed. Loud enough, I bet Lisa heard. I felt bad. Shh, just chill out. Dwight is working on it. Ah! Dwight does not concern me, Admiral. We want that ship, not excuses, said Harvey, Darth Paper. Just give me some time. Don't fail me again, said Darth Paper. Oh, Harvey, shut up. And there's Darth Paper. The next morning, we found Dwight in the library again. This time, he was happy to see us. Look at this, he shouted, and he held up the chapstick tube, and it looked like he yanked it apart and almost gotten it back together again. The thing you turn was sticking way out at the end of the little stick. He put his thumb on the turny thing and pushed it sort of like a syringe, and the cap popped off the chapstick and hit Amy right in the eye. Can you see it down here? You turn it this way. Push it. Psh, lid, eye. Oh, Dwight. Wow, that works better than I thought, said Dwight. Terrific, said Amy, feeling her eye socket for damage. Listen, Dwight, I said you do whatever it is that you want, but I need you to help us figure this problem out. Well, last night I went on my bike, he said using, sorry, I lost my place. Whoops. Yes, last night I went on my bike, he said, using his Sherlock Holmes accent again. Where did you go? I went to the Ryland Estates. Isn't that the trailer park behind where Walmart used to be? Yes. Let me guess. Is that where Lisa lives? Elementary, my dear. I cut him off. So you went to her house? No. Where did you go? The Ryland Estates laundry building. And they don't have one. So... Watch this, said Dwight, and he held up the chapstick again. I grabbed it out of his hands. Would you stop being a dipwad just for 5 seconds and tell us what's going on? Okay, said Dwight. All of a sudden, he was completely normal, like a totally different person. It was kind of scary. Don't you see, he said without any fake British accent, Lisa's not dirty. Her hair is perfectly clean. It's her clothes that are dirty. She doesn't have a washer or dryer at her house, so they have to drive somewhere to do their laundry. Like to a laundromat, you know? And for whatever reason, her parents don't have the time, or maybe have the money, to do that right now. That part's really not any of your business, really. But I'm sure there's no happy reason for it. Geez, I said, I hadn't really thought about that. Well, what are we going to do about all that? Said Amy. It's still going to hurt her feelings whether we tell her that she stinks or that her clothes stink. Why don't you ask Origami Yoda? Said Dwight. Again? Are you kidding? He hasn't gotten us anywhere, I said. But Amy goes, okay, Origami Yoda, what do we do? Dwight held up Origami Yoda and croaked, dress rehearsals. You must start. But the play is 3 weeks away, I said. Dress rehearsals. You must start. But dress rehearsals. You must start. But must! So we did. Just look at Origami Yoda. Can you see him? So for 3 weeks, we each got into our costumes every day after school. And every single one of us smelled the same, like costumes that had been in an old, slightly damp cardboard box for a couple of years. Because that's what costumes for plays smell like. But the important thing is that nobody ever said anything to Lisa, and her feelings never got hurt. And the play was great, and I think that's proof that even though Dwight is a little weird, he is a good guy to have at Ralph McQuarrie Middle School. Harvey's comment. This was Yoda's worst solution of all time. Do you know how hot the king costume was I had to wear? Every day after school for 3 weeks, I had to wear that thing and march around. Also, I can see that this case file is really all about making me seem like a villain. Okay, fine. I'm the bad guy because I made a couple of jokes privately without Lisa hearing them. I guess nobody thinks Dwight might be the bad guy for almost shooting a girl's eye out with chapstick. My comment, Tommy. Yeah, I think the chapstick rocket ended up on Rabsky's list of unacceptable behaviors. I'm pretty sure Dwight got sent to ISS for it. But this story shows that when something important is on the line, Dwight is actually a lot more kind and considerate than some of the normal kids at school. Here's Harvey sweating it out. So that was a really good chapter to see that Dwight doesn't want to hurt people's feelings, and he is really there to help people. And even though he did do the chapstick thing, he helped the girls come up with a good solution so that they did not have to hurt her feelings because they happened to care about her and didn't want to hurt her feelings. Cassie was worried about her. All right, so let's finish up with the rest of our stuff. Let me get my phone. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, okay. I don't know what I did. I did something. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's do our factor crud from yesterday. Okay, so our factor crud from yesterday was most women still believe that proposing marriage is a man's job. And that is actually, dun, 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 a fact. And it says on the back, except during a leap year in Ireland. So I guess in Ireland, during leap year, which was this year, by the way, they let the ladies, it's on leap day, they ask men to marry them. So I guess they do the proposing. And Sadie Hawkins in America somehow stems from that. And that's where you have dances or dates where the girls ask the guys. But on a daily basis, most girls think that the boy should still ask the girl to marry them. So that's our question from yesterday. Now let's see what our question for today is going to be. And it says, as of 2020, President John Tyler holds the record for the U.S. president with the most children. Tyler had 15 children, 8 with his first wife, Latita, and 7 with his second wife, Julia. So you have to decide if President John Tyler holds the record for the most president with the most children, and he had 15. So you got to decide if that's right. Okay, so you want to do your word obnoxious. You want to come up with your own idiom, just one, just do one idiom. If you want to do more than one, that's fine. Paper, make a fort today. Send me a picture of that. I'm super excited about that. And before we leave, since it's National Pajama Day, I want to show you a little video about something cute that has to do with pajamas. So look here, let me flip. It's goats. Look at them, how cute they are. They have their pajamas on. It's just too cute. They're in their barn and there's some, looks like all different kinds of pajamas. Look how, oh my goodness, there's all different colors and kinds. Super cute. So if you're staying in your pajamas today, it's okay because it's National Pajama Day. Make a fort, have fun, love ya, do your idioms, and remember, kindness is a language everyone can hear. Bye.